So, I don't know. Maybe it's obvious that as a black woman, I obviously lean more towards the left, right? There's a lot of, people on the right on YouTube doing, own the libs and all that shit. So I used to be a really big fan of Destiny. And I feel humiliated to admit it, honestly. I used to be a pretty big fan. I'm not going to lie. I used to like his videos. I used to watch them all the time. And I thought like this was a very smart guy. So it always baffles me when I learn just how, like, what's the word? Just how, like, contradictory a person can be. He would talk about, women's issues and all this shit, like, black people and all of this stuff. He would stand up to right-wingers on behalf of minorities, including women. And he seemed to have such a deep understanding. There was no way that in his personal life I would ever believe that he was the absolute monster that he is. And so I was just observing. I was just watching. I wasn't going to say anything until I watched this Ryan Beard video where he talks about some of Destiny's tweets. So the situation, and definitely watch Ryan Beard's video. I always just spit these out really quick. So some girl on Twitter posted like, hey, like I was stealthed. Stealthing is like a form of rape where a man takes his condom off while you guys are having sex and then continues to have sex with you without a condom, either without your knowledge or through intimidation or coercion, right? Like some people really do need to look up the definition of rape. So I was 100% with Destiny. And, as Ryan Beard was going through some of the shit he's done, I was like, ooh, that's kind of bad. Ooh, that's kind of bad. Revenge porn, all of that stuff. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of bad. Ooh, that's kind of bad. Once he got to this point, I'm now 25 minutes into this video. I had to stop and I had to say something. I hate this guy. I hate this guy. I absolutely hate this guy. Because the person on Twitter said, hey, I was stealthed. And they were just talking about their experience with it, right? And he quotes the tweet and says, oh my God, like, what, do you expect men to treat you like a 14-year-old? You can't speak up for yourself. Women who can't speak up for themselves during, sexual acts shouldn't be having sex. You're acting like a R-word child and all this shit, blah, 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 blah. And he just ripped into it and then vaguely made a few subsequent posts. I am so fucking sorry. One of the first things you learn about trauma is flight, fight, or freeze. That is literally one of the first things you fucking learn. Anyone who's watched TV knows that that's a response. Like, even me, myself, I've been in positions with men where I've had to be like, hey, like, I have friends coming over in 5 minutes. Like, no. You know what I'm saying? And they still tried to coerce me into, oh, just do this. Oh, just do that. And I'm like, no. And was I terrified? Abso-fucking-lutely. Now, let me tell you this. If a fucking guy threw me over and tried to do some shit to me, or I consented to one thing but not the other, in that vulnerable space, it would be a lot harder to stand firm and fight back or whatever, right? The freeze response is a very fucking common response, especially for a woman dealing with a man. Put in an authority figure, right? Even worse. Put in a big body difference. Even worse. You think I'm gonna fucking sit here and try and fight a bear over some oral or something like that, like, fuck it. Like, at the end of the day, I don't want you to fuck up my face, right? That's still rape. And just for him, actually, let me rewind to see some of these fucking tweets, because this shit is just, like, I cannot. I used to be a big fan. Okay, so this is something he posted, right? He posted, if you are noticing someone is taking a condom off and you can't say anything, you probably don't have the emotional maturity to engage in sex. You should just grab a caretaker or something and stick to masturbating or furry porn. Sorry. That's one of the tweets he said following what this woman posted about her experience. He quoted her tweet saying, real talk. Okay, her tweet, what the fuck? He quoted someone else's tweet saying, opening up about your rape, in quotes, your rape and shit on Twitter is incredibly fucking weird and should have never been normalized. I have no idea why the fuck people encourage others to trauma dump on social media. It's insanely unhealthy. Right, so what about the videos of police shooting black people dead in the streets? Is that not like putting trauma on the internet? It's awareness. And I mean, with the shooting of black men being so publicized, you can argue whether that's mostly beneficial or not. But hey, we got the Black Lives Matter movement out of that, which gave us some pretty good, started the conversation for some pretty good police reform. Baby steps, right? Why is it more acceptable to post somebody being killed and for people crying about their loved ones being killed by cops and not talking about how someone stealthed them before? How is that, like, incredibly worse? I'm so sorry. This is disgusting. This is the type of man where you'll think you're safe with him because, logically he knows everything about women's rights. Logically he knows everything about reproductive rights and whatsoever. But you get alone in a room with this guy and he's the type to fucking stealth you probably. That's why he is so bothered. Why the fuck are you so bothered about this shit being on Twitter? Who asked you to engage with it? Nobody asked you to engage with it. So you being bothered by it just means it struck something deep within your core in a weird fucking way. Do you have experience with this? If I was, just a person objectively looking at this situation, I would assume that you've done this to women, and that's why you're defending against it so heavily. Stealthing is real. A freeze response is very fucking normal. And it doesn't mean women don't have the emotional maturity, that women lack the emotional maturity to have sex. No, what women lack is the safety around men to feel safe and comfortable enough to say no for the 1100th time after a man saying, please, 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 can I? That's coercion. That's rape. That's rape. Oh, yeah, okay, the only way I'll be able to sleep with you is if I use a condom. Okay, I'll wear one. And then in the middle of whatever's happening, they slip that shit off and you say no. What do they do after that? They beg, please, 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 please. Let the fucking woman be a people pleaser. Even fucking worse. And so instead of taking what I assume is the logical stance in this situation, men need to be less predatory. If a woman says no about something, you need to respect that no. The woman already made the boundary of condom first, right? And if you can't respect that, you shouldn't be having sex with that woman, or probably any woman. Let's be so for real. This is scary. Like, this is honestly, who the fuck have I been following? And so thank you to Ryan Beard for posting this, because I would have never known. And I could imagine the fucking stupid look on my face telling people, yeah, I listen to fucking Destiny. He's chill. I could just imagine that dumbass look on my face. So I'm glad that I know this now. This is sick. This is one of the worst stances I think I've ever seen. I'm actually disturbed. I'm actually disgusted.